Welcome to Essential Dialogues. Today, we're going to dive into something pretty big for Ethiopia. They just adopted the Riyadh Design Law Treaty.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, and we've got a press release about it. And we've got the actual treaty, too. Now, I know legal stuff can be a little dry sometimes,
Sure.
but this could really change things for Ethiopia in the global marketplace when it comes to design.
Yeah, this is fascinating. It really shows how important design is becoming in today's global economy. When you're in a world that's just overflowing with products, a unique design, a protected design that can make all the difference.
That's true.
And this treaty, the Riyadh Design Law Treaty, or DLT, it's basically trying to make things easier to protect designs internationally.
So like a more unified system.
Yeah, exactly. Instead of having to deal with a bunch of different laws and procedures in every single country, you've got a more streamlined approach.
Oh, that makes a lot of sense. This has got to be huge for businesses in Ethiopia, especially for those who want to go global.
Absolutely. The press release really highlights that it'll be easier and cheaper for Ethiopian businesses to protect their designs, both in Ethiopia and internationally.
I see. So it's creating a more level playing field.
Exactly. Allowing them to compete more effectively on a global scale.
Okay, but it's not just about protecting logos, right?
Right.
What kind of designs are we talking about here?
Think of it this way. Anything from the design of a mobile app, developed by an Ethiopian tech startup, to like the pattern on a traditional Ethiopian textile.
Wow, okay.
It covers so much. So Ethiopian businesses, big or small, they can safeguard their intellectual property.
So it's fostering innovation, giving Ethiopian businesses a competitive edge.
Right.
Now, the press release also mentioned something about this being good for the designers themselves. What kind of impact could this have on those creative individuals?
It's about giving them the recognition they deserve and the financial rewards. With stronger design protection, Ethiopian designers can really share their work with the world, knowing that their work is protected. This could lead to a surge in creativity and innovation, as designers feel more secure and supported.
Yeah, I see that.
Imagine all these fresh, uniquely Ethiopian designs, making their mark internationally,
Right.
from fashion and architecture to product design and digital innovation.
That's a powerful image. But what about the everyday person in Ethiopia? Will they notice a difference?
Absolutely. The DLT could lead to more innovative and visually appealing products being available in Ethiopia.
Nice.
If local businesses are encouraged to create and protect their own designs, consumers will have a wider variety of choices.
Right.
It's about injecting more creativity and diversity into the marketplace.
Okay, so this is starting to paint a really compelling picture. We've got potential benefits for businesses, designers, and consumers. But the treaty itself still feels a little like a black box to me. Can you shed some light on what's actually inside this document?
Of course. Let's unpack a few key points from the Riyadh Design Law Treaty itself. First, it's important to understand that the DLT doesn't force countries to completely overhaul their existing design laws.
So it's not like a one-size-fits-all solution.
Exactly. Article 2 of the treaty specifically emphasizes that it's about harmonizing international processes, not dictating national laws. Ethiopia can still adapt to the treaty to its specific context and needs.
That's reassuring. It sounds much more collaborative. What else stands out to you in the treaty text?
Well, Article 11 is pretty interesting, especially in today's digital world. It encourages countries to adopt electronic systems for design applications.
So instead of physically traveling to a government office.
Yeah, designers could just submit their work online. Exactly. Imagine the impact, especially for designers in rural areas of Ethiopia. They'd have easier access to the system, making it more convenient and cost-effective to protect their creations.
That's huge for making design protection more accessible and inclusive.
Right. And it aligns with the whole idea of supporting individual designers that we saw in the press release.
Okay. Are there any other aspects of the treaty that you think are particularly significant?
Yes, Article 14 caught my eye. It offers some relief when it comes to deadlines.
Okay, deadlines are always stressful. So if a designer misses a filing date, they're not completely out of luck.
Exactly. Article 14 provides for potential extensions or continued processing under certain circumstances. It recognizes that the design world can be unpredictable and offers a safety net for busy designers.
That seems very practical and helpful.
Yeah.
Especially for those just starting out.
Absolutely. And there's one more point I'd like to highlight. Article 24.
Okay.
This one focuses on capacity building,
Yeah.
particularly for developing countries like Ethiopia.
What does capacity building mean in this context?
It's about providing the resources and support needed to fully implement and benefit from the treaty. Think about training programs for Ethiopian designers and officials on how to navigate the new system, workshops on intellectual property rights, or even mentorship programs connecting them with international experts.
Wow.
This emphasis on capacity building shows a real commitment to helping Ethiopia thrive in the global design landscape.
That's encouraging. So we've got this treaty that aims to simplify international design protection, a press release highlighting the benefits for Ethiopia, and a closer look at some key articles that highlight accessibility, flexibility, and a focus on empowering designers.
Right.
We're just getting started, though.
Indeed. There's so much more to explore, especially when we consider the broader economic and cultural implications of this move.
Hold that thought. We're out of time for this part of our deep dive into Ethiopia and the Design Law Treaty. But don't worry, we'll be back soon with part 2, where we'll delve even deeper into the potential impact of this development.
Picking up where we left off, Ethiopia's adoption of the DLT, it's not just about those internal benefits.
Oh.
It's strategic. I mean, it's about positioning Ethiopia as a real player in the global design market.
So it's like sending a signal to the rest of the world.
Exactly. That Ethiopia is ready to compete
Right.
when it comes to design and innovation.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's showing that they're serious about fostering creativity,
Yeah.
about protecting intellectual property, and creating an environment where businesses can thrive.
Okay.
And that can really attract foreign investment.
Now that you mentioned foreign investment, what kind of impact could we actually see in Ethiopia as a result of this move?
Well, think about it this way. If Ethiopia invests in the right things, the infrastructure, the support systems, it could become a real hub for design and innovation. You know, venture capitalists, they're always looking for the next big design hotspot.
Right.
Ethiopia's got such a rich cultural heritage, a young and eager workforce, and now this streamlined approach to design protection. I mean, it could be very attractive.
It's pretty exciting to think about. All the ripple effects, new jobs, new industries, and a boost to the overall Ethiopian economy.
Yeah.
And what about for the average person in Ethiopia? How would this affect their daily lives?
Well, one of the biggest things could be just having more products available.
I see.
With easier access to international markets, Ethiopian consumers could see all sorts of innovative, well-designed goods coming in from all over the world.
That's pretty cool.
Imagine walking into a shop in Addis Ababa and seeing cutting-edge designs from Europe and Asia right alongside uniquely Ethiopian products.
More choice and diversity.
Exactly.
Okay, we've talked about a lot of the potential positive impacts, but were there any surprises? Anything unexpected that you found when you were reading the treaty?
Yeah, actually, Article 8.
What's that one about?
It addresses authorship, making sure that design applications can be filed in the name of the actual creator.
Why is that so important?
Well, it's about protecting the designers, you know,
How?
making sure they get credit. Sometimes the person who creates a design might not be the one who files for a patent. This article safeguards the creator's rights and ensures they get proper credit and potential benefits from their work.
That makes sense.
It really ties into that theme of empowering designers that we've been talking about.
Okay. Anything else stand out?
Yeah, actually, Article 23, which deals with correcting mistakes in design applications.
Also like typos and things like that.
Exactly. Like if a designer accidentally submits the wrong measurement or,
Yeah.
makes a typo, Article 23 allows them to fix it without all that bureaucracy.
So it's recognizing that mistakes happen.
Exactly. It provides a straightforward way to fix those mistakes, and it saves designers time and headaches.
Again, it seems like it's all about making the system work for the designers.
Right. Removing obstacles and streamlining the process.
It sounds like the treaty balances those legal details
Yeah.
with a real understanding of how things work in the design world.
You got it. But it's just the beginning, right? How effectively Ethiopia implements this treaty
Yeah.
and builds the infrastructure to support a thriving design sector.
Yeah.
That's what's going to make the difference.
That's a really good point. We've explored the benefits, the key provisions, but what about the practical implications? For the average person in Ethiopia, what could this mean for their everyday lives?
Well, for starters, more choices.
Okay.
Think about having a wider array of innovative, well-designed products available in local markets, from everyday things to electronics to fashion.
Beyond the economic benefits.
Yeah.
And the greater choice for consumers. What about the cultural impact? Ethiopia's got this incredibly rich artistic heritage. How could this treaty help preserve and promote that heritage?
That's a great question. The treaty actually acknowledges the importance of traditional knowledge and craftsmanship in design.
Okay.
This could lead to a real resurgence of interest in Ethiopia's traditional arts and crafts, with designers finding inspiration from their heritage and bringing those traditional elements into modern designs.
Like a fusion of old and new.
Yeah, exactly. Showcasing Ethiopia's unique cultural identity to the world.
We've seen the global success of Ethiopian coffee. Could Ethiopian design be the next big thing?
I think it's definitely possible. This treaty could be that push that propels Ethiopian design onto the world stage, making designed in Ethiopia a symbol of quality and innovation.
This has been really eye-opening. We started with what seemed like just a dry legal document, and we've uncovered all these possibilities for Ethiopia: economic growth, blossoming design scene, and a chance to share its cultural richness with a global audience.
And we're just scratching the surface. There's so much more to unpack when it comes to intellectual property, international trade, and the power of design.
We've covered a lot, but I have one final thought before we wrap up this part of our deep dive. So we talked about Ethiopia becoming a major player in the global design scene. But what would that actually look like? What would it mean for consumers if designed in Ethiopia was like a globally recognized thing?
It's really exciting to think about. If Ethiopia really uses the DLT strategically and invests in its creative talent, I think we could see designed in Ethiopia becoming synonymous with quality and innovation, with a unique aesthetic that blends tradition and modern design.
I love that, a fusion of heritage and innovation. Imagine seeing designed in Ethiopia on everything from clothes and furniture to home decor and even tech gadgets, each piece with that distinct Ethiopian identity.
Exactly. And it goes beyond just the products themselves. Ethiopia could become a hub for design education and research, attracting people from all over Africa and beyond.
Wow.
We could see a whole new generation of Ethiopian designers pushing boundaries and drawing inspiration from their heritage and global trends.
It's like a cultural renaissance driven by design, and all thanks to this Riyadh Design Law Treaty. It's amazing how a legal document can have such a huge impact on a nation and its creativity.
Absolutely. It shows the power of human ingenuity and how collaboration can drive change. Who knows, maybe one day we'll be talking about the Ethiopian design revolution.
I would love to do that episode, but for now, that's the end of our deep dive into Ethiopia and the Design Law Treaty. We hope you learned something new about the connection between law, business, culture, and design. If you enjoyed this journey with us, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to Essential Dialogues podcast. Let us know your thoughts on this exciting development for Ethiopia. Until next time, Inikoni, Didihina, and Meta Chi Hu.